40th annual Farmer Field Day at the Belleville Research Center, SIU Carbondale. Finally, we've had a normal year. If you were here in the last couple of years, I had corn that was probably, at best, maybe knee-high at this time. This year, we've had a normal distribution of rainfall, so hopefully, like you all, we've had a normal planting season. Today, we also have a distinguished guest here. If you all remember Dr. George Kapusta, his daughter, Debbie, is here with us today because we're going to give an award out. And that award is called the Dr. George Kapusta Endowment Graduate Assistantship Award. This award helps a graduate student with salary, with paying for books, rent, whatever. And this year's award goes to Lucas Frank. Now, last year, Lucas spoke with Dr. Young at his stop. He's one of the people that spoke here along with some of the grad students. Lucas is from Brazil. Dr. Kapusta was a great people promoter. And he is also like to train foreign grad students. So Lucas, being from Brazil and being a farmer from Brazil, it was befitting that we give him this award. He's a very hard worker, been very, good, viable part of the program this summer. So it's my honor to give that award. Thank you. I've asked Lucas to give us a little bit of his pedigree so you can see what goes on in Brazil, maybe.
Good morning, everyone. So, as Ron Krauze just said, my name is Lucas. I'm originally from Brazil. And I guess my background is pretty similar to most of you guys. I was born in a small town, like in central South Brazil. And both of my grandparents were farmers. They were mainly dairy farmers, but later on they switched to row crops. And the way I ended up coming to the US, I would say it's kind of particular. I was a Dow Agro-Sciences intern down in Brazil. And I met an American field scientist down there. That was in 2012. And we worked together for 4 months. And he invited me to come up and be his intern for the summer. So I had the amazing chance to be an intern down in Brazil and here. And while in the US in 2012, he introduced me to Dr. Young, and Dr. Young invited me for the master's. So I came up and I started last year in January. And it has been such an amazing experience so far. I would like to say thank you to Ron Krauze, Ron Beckley, and all the members of the Weed Science group at SIU. Thank you very much. Well, knowing that George Kapusta had so many foreign students, I really appreciate that, to be part of one of those on that line. And with considering all his recognition worldwide, it's going to help me a lot, like in my own career. It's going to be pretty important.
And guess what? This would be really cool. My sister-in-law is from Victoria, or a small town in Victoria, Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been there, and my brother, they got married there. And,
awesome.
Yeah, it's really
good
cool.
To know.
So I can't wait to tell them. So, well, congratulations. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much.
Very good. He didn't give you his full pedigree, but I'll give it to you. Actually, Lucas was a good enough soccer player to play professionally soccer if he wanted to. But guess who told him you're getting an education? Who do you think told him that? His mom. And after the performance of this past week, the World Cup, I think he made the right choice. I told you the Germans are going to get you. I'm German. Krauze. There ain't no more German than that. All right, let's get this show started.
I'm a graduate student here at Southern Illinois University. I'm a third-year PhD student, about to finish in about 6 months. I plan on going into industry. Overall, my experience here at SIU has been absolutely wonderful, especially here at the Belleville Research Farm. And of course, George Kapusta was a instrumental part of establishing this farm and just training Ron Krauze and establishing the fundamentals for the research that's been done here. And of course the research that's been done here has absolutely been top-notch for the years that the research has been going on. I was an intern here in 2010, and ever since then I've been a graduate student here studying under Ron Krauze. In 2012 I was recipient of the George Kapusta Endowment, which during the course of that year and through that semester funded my graduate student assistantship and my research, which of course was a big help, as funding is often difficult for graduate students. Overall, the legacy that George left here, not only has it helped all the graduate students that he trained, but all these future graduate students as well, such as myself, who not only have possibly received his scholarship, but have learned from the training that he passed to Ron Krauze and then on to us.
What brings you here today?
Well, you know, I was just talking to Alan Walters as I was coming here. In 1970, when I was interviewing here, part of the interview process, I had to come to the Belleville Research Center for the field day. And this, I guess, is 44 years after I first interviewed. So, I met your dad there, and it was a wonderful experience all through those many, many years. And we want to say hello to everybody in the, not Demicelli, but in the Kapusta family. Amen.
Okay, my name is Sarah, and I knew Dr. Kapusta from whenever I was at SIU as an undergrad, and I became a student worker, and knew his grad students and everybody that worked there, and then I went on and got my master's under Dr. Elkins, not under Dr. Kapusta, but he's the one that actually, whenever I got to looking for a job in industry, he's the one that gave me the lead into a job with American Cyanamid that I did for 13 years initially. So he's the one that got me where I am today, I think. He's the one that led me to that first job, gave me a recommendation. They would have hired me without his recommendation. So, and I worked with him. I was a rep in Southern Illinois, research rep, and so I was able to work with him every year. And I could always count on him for good research, but then good friendship. And just, tell me how it is, tell me, quite frankly, how things work and didn't work. And I mean, it was just a really good relationship. I miss him so much, and he was a good friend for forever. And he will never be forgotten across industry. Dr. Kapusta, is still a name that rings in everybody's ears. We love him.
Go. You guys remember this, running up and down the hills and rolling down Danny, Lynette, Brenda. Okay, so Amberlynn, we're here at your grandfather's at SIU Belleville Research Farm. What do you like most about it so far?
I do like those hills things. I don't know what they're called anymore, but they're fun. She fell on it. It was funny.
I was here with her. You guys having a good time so far?
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty neat to learn about your grandpa. Things that you did.
It looks very interesting. Tiring.
The crops and everything are so pretty.
I like those.
Okay.
Farmers and agriculture experts came together for an annual tradition today. This was the scene at the SIU Agriculture Field Day at SIU's Belleville Research Center. Those folks rode in a tractor-pulled wagon to different education stations. A wide range of topics on ag sciences and modern-day farming were on the agenda, including the local climate's impact on crops and soil-borne organisms. This was the 48th annual SIU Ag Field Day.
All right, so did you guys learn anything today?
Yeah.
What did you learn, Amberlynn?
What those hills are called?
What did you think about your grandpa?
Amazing balls.
Autumn, what did you learn?
What those hills were called, and like that they use storage inside of it, or they stored stuff inside of it. Yeah. That's what they
And
did.
my grandpa did I don't know what it's called anymore. Farming,
Research.
I guess.
Research.